Yo, shout out to the most hottest. Open eyes, even though Lord Sadie's L-Deez, also known Lawrence one for another episode of I Need to Know with my special guest. Introduce yourself, G.
Yo, I'm Soul from the O. The O is for Oakland. It's good to be here, brother.
For sure, man. What's up, man? Man, I gotta ask you something. I like to ask all my guests this.
What's that?
How did you get your name?
Okay, that's a great question. So I used to go by the word just Soul, the name Soul.
Okay.
And Soul because, you know, I feel like I embody the good shit that's, you know, common amongst all great art and music. Okay. Now that's a bold statement, right?
Okay, okay.
Now, I'm not saying I'm jambalaya cooking and, you know, Pablo Picasso. But what I'm saying is that I feel like I have that essence. So I'll go by Soul. And that's been since like probably maybe 11th grade, you feel me? And then in the age of digital, right? It's like, man, you type in Soul, you can't find me because, you know, it's such a big word, right? So I had to figure out a way to, you know, differentiate myself. And so I was Soul from the O, you know, as a tagline and I actually did that when I opened up for Yassine Bey.
Most Def?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay.
At 1015 Folsom. And the dude was like, yo, the promoter's like, what's your name? And I was going to put Soul. And I was like, nobody going to find me that way.
Yeah,
so I was like, all right, I got to go with Soul from the O. So, yeah.
So that's a far away from 11th grade. So was that your first rap name?
Nah, man. My first rap name, honestly, in the 9th grade was Kid Rock.
Kid Rock.
And then I found out there was a dude, and I had drawn some knuckles with some graffiti and shit, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna be Kid Rock. And I was like, oh, there's some dude named Kid Rock. So you can be Kid Rock. So I'm glad I didn't
For sure.
Kid Rock.
So, man, I want to know something, man. You from East Oakland, right?
Yes, sir.
What part?
23rd Ave.
Shout out to 23rd. You from the Rolling 20s?
Rolling 20s. The Twomps.
The Twomps, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So where did your hip-hop experience start?
My hip-hop experience started hearing Rappers Delight after hours on like KMEL.
Okay.
You know, like I'm really dating myself, but you know, I was a little kid, mind you. And then I want to say by 84, 85, my mama got me my first Run DMC record, you know.
Okay.
And then from there, then I was basically borrowing my boys' Freaky Tales Too Short tape.
Shout out to Freaky Tales. I just heard that the other day. Yeah.
Yeah, man. And so, you know, I grew up on that, man. So it was a little bit of the town. It was a lot of the town, honestly. It was a lot of Short, and it was a lot of like the Tonys and Hammer. You know what I mean? I remember going to, you know, Durant Square to get my first Hammer tape, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I was getting exposed to like everything on Yo MTV Raps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you consider Too Short a founding father of rap?
Of West Coast rap?
However you want to put it.
Oh, man, that's tough. Founding father of rap. I mean, you know, we can't say that because, you know, the Bronx, you feel me? And even, you know, they even say there's some Jamaican cats who was rapping back in the day, right? But I mean, of the independent hustle West Coast thing, I might have to give it to him.
You know, I make up terms, right?
Yeah.
I make up terms because I think I'm sharp and shit. I think he's a flagship pioneer.
Okay, yeah, I can feel that out the trunk.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Like say like me and you start a hamburger place. Right? Start a hamburger place. And I think, say like it makes it all the way around the world. The first one in New Zealand would be the flagship over there.
Right.
And it's not the pioneer and the whole thing, but it's the first of its kind in its area, and it's bringing so much awareness to that thing that we've actually been heard, and it's a representation of the area. Yeah. So I would say he's definitely a flagship pioneer.
Yeah, for sure. It's almost like using some nature, you know, shit. It's like the hip hop seed pollinated in the wind, flew west.
Yes,
landed
sir.
in Oakland.
Bam.
And boom, sprouted this forest, and here is Short.
Come on now.
And I mean, what's dope is it's like this cat blazed a trail for us.
That's right.
To the industry to come back, but he was doing independently.
That's right.
I mean, what he say? Sell 1 million records from here to south, but nowhere east of the Mississippi or something like that, right? Maybe Atlanta, right? So, I mean, yeah, I mean, short deserves something. I don't know what the right word is. You know, maybe flagship is the one.
Flagship pioneer for sure.
Yeah.
I was telling Mr. Fab, I said, this is how I think if rap is basketball, I would say Too Short would be equivalent to John Stockton.
Okay. John Stockton, Hall of Famer.
Hall of Famer.
Right.
You know, because Too Short has actually done something that nobody has ever done. Right? He's the only rapper that rapped at that time that he came out, right, that young people will want to get a feature from.
Oh, yeah, still to this day.
I got Short on my... I've been to a Too Short concert, right? Yeah. And there's people in there 22, 44, and 64.
64, yeah. Maybe even older.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. No, I mean, I feel like Short's on that list of like people like Busta Rhymes, where, you know, Busta Rhymes was spitting something in 88, right?
Yeah.
Somewhere around there. But Short was before Busta Rhymes, so even more.
I give Busta Rhymes somewhere around 92. That's my earliest memory of him. Like sometime, like Leaders of the New Tribe Called Quest. Yeah. I put him somewhere around
like 89.
Check the rhyme here at 91.
91,
because I was in 8th grade.
Yeah. No, that's right.
Somewhere around there.
So, yeah.
Because when I think of 88, that's very close to 87 to me. So I think about EPMD.
Yeah, EPMD.
But I know Busta was somewhere doing his thing.
Sure. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, but, you know, I'm just saying, like, damn, I mean, that's still like 30 years. Even 90
Oh, no, I'm
like
not negating nothing.
Yeah, for sure.
You know?
For sure. Yeah,
I mean, that's a lot. So, this is what I want to know. Do you consider Lil Wayne an old school rapper?
Now you got me showing my age. Nah, I don't think he's an old school rapper. But, you know, like, can I call him a new school rapper? Not at this point. I mean, it's kind of like Eminem. Is Eminem an old school rapper?
Absolutely. Look at it like this.
Okay.
Look at it like this. Say you've been working at a company that's only been around 50 years.
Okay.
Right?
Right.
But you've been there 25 years. You've been there half the time. So are you an old employee?
Oh, you know what? Bling, bling. Yeah. Lil Wayne. Yeah. Right. I mean, that was in the 90s, right? Or was
98.
98.
So in 4 years, did it be 30?
Yeah, so it's like 20, 26 years.
Yeah.
About.
Yeah.
Okay, I feel that. Right. 26 out of 50, 51. I mean, that is half the time. Right.
You're an old employee.
Right. No, that's real. That's a good way to think about it. See, I'm thinking everybody up to like 92. You know what I mean? 93. Right.
Well,
I don't even know. Is that even old school or is it up to 89?
Well, the thing about it is, I'm not asking you, is your mother, if I'm asking you, is your mother old? Or if I'm asking you, I'm not asking you, is your mom older than your grandmama?
Right. Yeah, right.
You could be old, but you're just not the oldest.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
You know, like Snoop is old school.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
91. I mean, shit, 33 years.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true, man.
So you got the Pharaohs and Queens.
Yeah. Queens and Pharaohs. Yeah.
Queens and Pharaohs.
Yeah.
So tell me how you came up with that name.
So on the cover of that record is a picture of my parents when they was high school sweethearts here in the town.
Okay.
And I don't know, they went to Sears, Roebuck or some shit. And I always had these two photos. One, they all like booed up, smiling.
That's cool.
And then one, maybe the photographer told them to be more solemn or serious. Yeah. And so they got this serious face look to them. And I always thought it was kind of dope. Like, yo, that's where I come from. Like it looked like a good, meme, if you will, for like, where Soul from? Oh, he from these two, right? And they got this serious sort of thing to him. So I was like, yeah, I come from Queens and Pharaohs, you know?
For sure.
But not purely on purely African consciousness tip, you feel me?
Okay.
But more like, you know, my parents taught me a certain level of excellence, you know?
Yeah.
And you know, my mama thought of herself as a queen, and my father maybe not called himself a pharaoh, but it was this idea of excellence that we walk in our family name.
Cool.
And our people been through all this shit, and don't you be on.
Are they still together too?
No. My mom's passed 3 years ago. my parents, you know, they split up a long time ago.
Gotcha.
When I was young.
But that's still where you came from, and you knew them both, right?
Oh yeah, definitely knew them both, and you know, I just thought it was cool that you know, they met at some market near Eastmont. You feel me?
For sure.
When they was like 14, and they was like together for like 10 years. So it felt like high school sweethearts that
sure
had me. So I'm like, shit, I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, every time I hear Eastmont Mall, I think of Jerry Law. Shout out to my boy Jerry Law. You know Jerry Law, the comedian. Shout out to hey. See, every time I hear Eastmont, I say Jerry. You not from East Oakland, nigga. You from Eastmont. Shout out to Jerry Law. You know what I'm saying? So that's dope. How many tracks you got on it?
10 tracks.
10.
Yep.
Short and sweet, right?
Yes, sir. 10 tracks. And yeah, man, I worked on this for 4 years. This was like an album that, I was like, oh, I'm going to dedicate this to my parents. And I really feel like this album is like divine timing. Okay. Because it was a long time coming, but like on many different levels, like artistically. Then, I took that photo and I gave it to my boy Picasso from the Living Legends. Shout out to Picasso.
Shout out to the Living Legends.
Yes, sir. And, he does this crazy like artwork where he can transfer photos to wood. And so he was doing his thing. And in parallel, I'm getting songs from different people and working. And, man, it just came together. Like I'm saying, like all of these 4 or 5 different work streams just came together at the right time. My mom's happened to, she was living out of state, and I happened to finally convince her to come back to the town, come visit. Yeah. She visited. It was good, man. Took her around, showed her how much the town has changed, Okay. And then, man, like she left, and she passed away on Thanksgiving.
Gotcha. How far away, or what was the time distance from her coming to see you from her passing away? How many months or years?
Oh, so before she came?
Like when she came, when you told her to come back?
Yeah.
And then you said that she passed after that?
Yeah.
What was the time lapse?
Oh, it's like 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
13 days.
Oh.
Yeah, real talk.
That was divine timing.
Yeah, it was real divine timing. And then we sat down and I played the whole record for her and showed her my videos and like, yo, this is what I did with you and Pops, shit. And she was like, yo. And, my mom's was always very, since I was little, very, encouraging to be an artist, painting, sculpting, whatever it is, right? And so she listened to me. She listened to it. She was like, yo, this is good music. And she was like, I think you're going to be big like Jay-Z. And I was like, come on, Jay-Z, right? And she was like, no, I ain't saying this because you my son. This is like good music, you know? And so, I took that, man, took that to heart. But she died 13 days later. And then I was like, oh, I gotta write a song about my mom's and put that on that record. So I put that on that record, and it's honestly one of my best pieces on that.
So I got to ask you this question. Had your mom not passed, right, would have turned the record already in?
Oh, yeah.
So actually, I'll see the divine timing,
Yeah.
is that she had to come back so then you could add that and, because.
Yeah, man, for sure. And, I mean, shit's crazy, man. Like, she passed and then, like, a month later, I found out I was going to be a dad again, Okay. So then I had the elders telling me, like, yo, we say when somebody dies, somebody's born.
I've heard that before.
And, that whole thing. And I was like, all right. And, I mean, it was like some divine Black Jesus shit. Like, I was like, what? I'm about to be a dad again? What? Well, you did use a woman, right?
Shit. I mean, just coming up pregnant around
I know. I know how these things happen.
People be like, don't jinx me. I'm like, jinx you? You're fucking, man. Come on now.
What happened? I was doing so good.
So how many you got?
I got 4 kids.
4 kids? Yes, okay. So you got what, 2 boys, 2 girls, 3 girls?
No. I got 3 girls and a son.
So the son is the last one?
No. Daughter. So my oldest is a girl. My second oldest is a son. Girl.
Which one reminds you of you the most?
Oh man, probably my son.
Does he look like you the most, or does he act like you the most?
He looks a lot like his mama, but I think he acts like me. He's really serious. Okay. I just got to tell him to relax, and I'm like, man, I'm talking to myself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, in that way. For sure.
You know, it's a trip though, because like when you have kids and stuff like that, you want so much more for them than you want for yourself that it could almost drive you crazy.
Yeah, for sure. Or to that point, I just wish I could just open up their heads and just download the game.
Yeah.
Just be like, here, just take this. Trust me. Just take $100 a month and put it here.
Yeah.
And in 10 years, you're going to be good. I want to go kick it. Just listen to me. Trust me.
What are they age? What are they age spans?
So my oldest will be 28 in November. My son just turned 24.
Okay.
And my daughter, my second to youngest daughter, is going on 11.
Okay.
And then my youngest one will be 2 this year.
Shout out, man.
Yeah,
that's
man.
cool, man.
Yeah, man.
You know what's so funny about having babies and stuff like that? If a woman, right, have a baby after her 42nd birthday, her friends would say, you know, if she already have one,
Sure.
Damn, you starting over? But if a man has a baby at 55, you're like, I still got it.
Hey, you know what?
Did you hear what I said? I still got it. Did you hear what I said?
No.
Did you hear what I said, Steve? Let me say it one more time. I say, let me press the rewind button.
Rewind.
I say if a woman has a baby after 42 and it's her second child, her friends say, damn, you starting over?
Right.
But then if a man has a baby at 50, he thinking I still got it. Did you hear what I said? I said, damn, I'm still out here dropping dick on a bitch. But
that's that shit hella fast.
That's how you gotta say it when you're in the library or class.
Right. You crazy. Nah, man, I had people tell me that. They're like, damn, you starting over. How that feel, you know?
Yeah.
So, you know, but I hear you though.
Yeah, I mean, men don't really think of it almost like that. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't.
Sure.
It just depends on the situation.
Yeah.
I mean, somebody asked me, do I want some more kids? I'm like, man, I do, but I mean, shout out to my homeboy. He was in here. I said, you want some kids? He said, nope. I said, damn, you don't want no kids? You don't want to see yourself? He said, man, I like getting up, going, and doing what I want to now. He said, shit, now if I could raise a baby on the phone, hey, do your motherfucking homework.
Yeah.
I do that.
Right. I'd raise a baby on the phone.
Remember, bro? Shout out to Yogi Calhoun.
That's crazy.
He said, now if I could raise a motherfucker on the phone, I do that.
Sure.
But I don't want to spend my money. I don't want to give my time. Hey, do your homework.
Yeah, right. Man, you know, I mean, kids are definitely an investment, you know, in all sorts of ways, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, life is a trip, though, because, like, you don't know what's coming next.
You sure don't know what's coming next.
You know, like, I was talking to my son, and he was talking about how he's doing some of the things. And I was like, you know, you going to school benefits you.
Yeah.
That's for you. That's not for me. That's you. Your dreams, goals, and aspirations, that's for you.
Right.
And he said, well, Dad, you got to realize is that I'm trying to get successful so I could take care of you and all them.
That's right.
And I said, yeah, but it ain't no guarantee you going to outlive me.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, but it had to take me to walk around, you know what I'm saying, or whatever, whatnot, to understand it, what life is all about.
Yeah,
there are no guarantees. Only guarantee is that one day you will die and that you don't know what's going to happen next.
That's right. That's right.
You know, you're a co-author to your story of life, a co-author.
Right.
The cold part is that you can't write people in the script, but you can write people out of it.
Right. Yeah. You can walk away.
You know?
Yeah. And you don't know when your story's going to end. I mean, blood. Like, you don't know when your story's going to end, man. And I think, I mean, you know, my mom's passed. I buried one of my uncles this past December. Okay. And, you know, my uncle and in some ways my mom were people that I'm like, oh, these people going to be around forever. You know what I'm saying? Nobody going to be around forever.
That's right.
Young and old, right? But I think the craziest part about it is we really don't know when. And we really be like holding on to grudges. Like we got time to hold on to a grudge, right? Or like we can put off a conversation to next week. I'll get to it.
Yep.
Man, I mean, there was times my mom's lived out of state. There was times me and my moms didn't talk for like 6 months, but and that last year, 2021, she died. I drove out there for Mother's Day. You feel me? We kicked it, hung out, convinced her to come out here to the Bay. And man, I'm just so thankful that I even had a chance to do that. Because like, had she left during a time when we wasn't talking, where I thought, oh, I'll talk to you. You know, I'll talk to you in a month. I'll talk to you in a lot. We got that time. Man, that shit would have killed me.
Well, you know, it's 10 Commandments, and I always say there's, in my mind, I read the 10 Commandments and stuff like that. There's two things that I would like to add to that, you know, some prefaces. People always think it can't happen to me and I got time to change.
Man, but it can happen to you.
You know?
Yeah.
You know, Rasan, son, my brother, he said, you know, you could be talking about somebody, but the same thing that you're talking about somebody could happen to you. Yeah,
man. That's right.
You know?
That's right.
So we got to be real careful on how we like.
Right.
Oh man, that nigga, bro, man, nigga, it'll be you next year.
Real talk. I done seen it happen. Real talk. The cat on the top fall down.
For sure.
You know, right where the cat he was talking shit about was.
Yeah.
You know? So man, I don't play none of that. Blood, you know what? I was telling somebody the other day, I was like, you know what superpower I wish I could have? I'll answer that for you. The superpower I wish I could have is the ability to like appreciate shit while it's still here before it's gone.
Oh, well, shit, spend a day with me. I can show you how to do that.
But you know what I'm saying, though?
Yep, for
you know
sure.
what I'm saying? You know, that job you complaining about, and then you lose it, and you be like, damn, it wasn't that bad, right?
Oh, for sure.
Or whatever it is. You know, that girl you've been messing with, and you're like, yeah, and then she gone, and you're like, damn, she really was a real one. I should have fucked with her, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I've actually got better at that, you know, as I got older and stuff like that, especially like, you know, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do none of that.
Oh, wow.
So I'm having like more better relationships.
Yeah.
Like I could actually, I drink, and have fun, giggling and shit like that. That's cool.
Yeah.
But being clean and sober is like, I'm in my right mind.
Yeah, that's
my
right.
favorite place to be on the planet is in my right mind. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
My son asked me, Dad, would you ever want a superpower to be able to read minds? And you know what I said? Hell no. You think I want to hear what these motherfuckers is thinking about me?
Man.
Fuck these old punk motherfuckers.
And you know, it would be some fucked up thoughts too. You would be like, damn, I don't want to hear that shit.
I mean, imagine me walking down the street with my new chick.
Right.
And she looking good, and I just hear niggas be like, hey, that nigga bitch fine. I'll fuck that bitch right now. You think I want to hear that?
Or what if your girl's like, I gotta take a shit bad. I wish you would wrap it up so I can go take this shit.
I'm gonna say it one more time. You think I want to hear that? I want to hear that nigga.
Hell no.
That nigga hell go. Fuck that nigga.
I'm telling you, but or you be like hearing some shit and you be like, you wouldn't say that shit out loud. And you be like, what?
Hey, so how many albums you have total?
Roll Without End, Unspoken Word, Contraband Mixtape, and Queens and Pharaohs. So 4. Yeah.
So I gotta ask you this. Which one, if you was gonna try to get you, if somebody wanted to buy it from you for $1 million, which one do you think that you would sell?
For $1 million? Queens and Pharaohs, hands down.
That's the best one?
Yeah, I mean, everything is progressing. Don't get it twisted. I've been rapping songs off all these albums. Yeah. And can still rock a show off with all these albums.
Gotcha.
So it ain't that, but it's just more like, as a creative, you like, I'm getting a little bit better here.
Yeah, for sure.
Or I'm better, the beat makers are bringing it, just a little bit more on this record, and I'm executing, a creative vision, you feel me? And I always think everything is practice. So I finish this song, I do the best I can. It's just helped me, that next song, I just get a little bit better. So
do you mix and master?
I do a little mixing. I don't do any mastering.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, I send that out for sure.
Gotcha.
And a lot of mixing too. I send out too.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is what I want to know. On your albums, right? What do you think matter of fact, not your albums, what do you think your superpower is as an artist?
Man, my superpower is being able to tell a story to be political, to be conscious, and hopefully not too preachy. Right?
Okay.
You feel me? And in that, I'm evolving more to be able to rhyme on like 3 different levels, where it can be like, oh, this is a song about, internet shit. And then you're like, wait a sec. Oh, he said this or that,
Yeah.
And really kind of give you some Easter eggs in the rhyme. So by the maybe 5th time you hear, you be like, oh, you said that thing. At least in my mind, that's the way I'm creating,
definitely.
You feel me? So,
so when you perform, right? Because I think like one of my superpowers, like is, like a whoever I am, entertainer, rapper, being live on the spot.
Yeah.
And I was gonna ask you, you said that you was able to tell stories. This is what I was gonna ask you. You said that you tell stories. Do you think nowadays diss records have taken the place of storytelling in hip hop?
Diss records.
Yes.
Man, I don't know, man. I mean, I don't know if people tell stories as much as they used to, I mean, I'm thinking of, when you say diss records, I'm thinking of Kendrick Lamar and Drake, because that's been all in the air recently. But we know there's been other diss records for sure, right? And I know somebody like Kendrick could tell a story, whether or not he chooses to in a diss record, that's a whole nother thing.
You know what? I'm not even really, that didn't even cross my mind.
Okay. Yeah.
That didn't even cross my mind. What I'm alluding to, is that back in the day, storytelling, right?
Yeah.
You told a story because you were trying to convey a message or trying to get something across.
Yeah.
And it took a lot of time in that.
Sure.
Right? Now it's kind of easy just to be like, man, I don't like this person. I can rap about shooting them, blah, 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 blah. And it might be just a little bit more easier. I'm saying it's easier on the art.
Yeah.
Because back when we was coming up, or back in the day, right?
Sure.
Everybody wanted to say that they was the tightest or had bars and stuff like that. And that was supposed to be for show.
Yeah. Right.
Sometimes I get rappers that come on my show, I'm like, kick something. They be like, nah, I ain't kicking that. Back when we was coming up, you had to have a rap ready and stuff like that.
That's right. Yeah, that's
so
right.
the game has changed so much.
Yeah.
The game is changed so much. So I, shout out to people that got diss records, I guess, but that shit is dangerous now.
Yeah, man. I think the art has suffered, and it's been made to be more microwavable, instant. You feel me? Like people. Like, it's funny, man, and I'm not dissing anybody who writes quick. Like, I think that's an art.
That's a talent or a skill.
A real
that's
skill.
A skill, yeah.
Like what Jay-Z does, or when I hear about Pac sitting down with E40, on the floor and just busting out a 16, I'm like, man, that's fresh, Sometimes it comes like that for me. Sometimes it's like, I'm like, I could rhyme that. I could do 16, but I want something special for that.
For sure.
That's an introspective beat, and it's some heartfelt shit. So I want to say some heartfelt shit. I don't want to just be like, ran into Sally in the alley, just making that shit up, right? I wanted to have some depth. So it's like I gotta wear the rhyme like some shoes. I gotta break it in, get comfortable with,
of course,
sing to it while I'm washing the dishes or riding in the car. You know what I mean? And I feel like now the music is plagued by like cats who just really write their rhymes in 15 minutes. And sometimes, you can hit 4 out of 10, which is great when you shoot threes. You know what I mean? 40% is great. And then sometimes, you ain't shooting 40%.
Well, it's funny that you say that, because I'm about to I want to just tell you my analogy on the diss record thing, and then we're going to go right back to that.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
That was cool, man, because we building.
Yeah. That's right.
So check this out, man. In a diss war, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of plantation masters or slave masters putting one black man against another black man, because there's 3 entities involved, right? If, let's just say, Lyrical Lawrence going against Microphone Mike, and they in a diss war, right?
Right.
It's 3 entities involved. It's the label, the artist, and the fans.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Right?
Sure.
The fans got the money. The labels got the money, and the artist is trying to, they on the job.
Yeah.
the cold part about it is it's just kind of like a motherfucking a plantation battle.
Right.
This person from this plantation fighting this person from that plantation.
Yeah.
Their friends on this plantation don't like the other one's friends.
Right.
And then the white slave masters, you know, they don't really give a damn. We just recycle these motherfuckers out. Okay, one kill, I lost or something like that. But it fucks up the business if somebody does die. However, we just manufacturing them.
Hey, I'd argue, I'm with you. I'd argue they want to see the shit escalate, you know, because they get dead rappers have tremendous sales. These people are cynical, man. In my humble opinion.
Oh, for sure.
You know, they downright dirty. So, you know, I wouldn't be surprised they took out life insurance policies on some of these cats. You know, not trying to spread no conspiracy theory.
I mean, conspiracy theories are good. They're needed, you know, but it's stuff that people don't even think about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
You know, I mean, think about it. People wanted to be rappers their whole life, right? That's your rap dream, right?
Yeah.
When people get killed at a concert, they got killed at work.
Yeah. Right.
People don't even look at it like that.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, no, man, it's crazy. And I mean, you know, it's a trip because like the whole thing with more recently Kendrick and Drake, like I'm just like, that ain't, you know, that don't even register. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm used to like, you know, Ice Cube's Knows Vaseline. Like to me, that's like that's a diss record.
Yeah.
You know, goddamn, I'm glad y'all said it all. Used to be hard, now you just went soft. You know.
Yeah.
First you was down with the AK, now you on the video Michelin. I mean, like it's just clear out there. Not like double entendres and I gotta go back and be like, did he say the dude's name? Like who's he talking about? You know.
Well, I think that because Kendrick is phenomenal.
Oh, Kendrick is hella phenomenal. I ain't talking shit about Kendrick at all. Yeah.
I just think that's just where. So, I think it's just where the game is at. You know, it's lyrical. It's super lyrical. Not saying, and I'm gonna get into this lyrical shit real quick because somebody said that Tupac wasn't lyrical, and I want to know what you think about that. But with Ice Cube's No Vaseline, that was so dope. Is because he put when they dissed him first at the beginning of the record.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that shit was dope. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
He played all that, and the cold part about it is that when you think about that record, that's a saga.
Yeah, that's one of my best. Yeah.
So if you go to Death Certificate, right, then you're gonna want to go back to Niggas for Life,
right?
Then you're gonna want to you're gonna go backwards. Right. You're gonna go backwards to Easy Does It. Right. Then you might go forward to Dre at Death Row and West Side Connection, especially if it's during this time.
That's right.
That's right. How do you feel about people saying that Tupac ain't lyrical?
So
first off, do you look at Tupac as being lyrical?
I do think Tupac is a lyricist. Like Dear Mama, I mean, Shed So Many Tears. Those are great fucking lyrics. So you know what I'm saying? I put those lyrics up with anybody. But here's the thing about Tupac. Okay. See, here's the thing.
I'm listening.
The thing about Pac, man, and this, you know, Pac is one of those, you know, we ready to scrap. You know, somebody talk shit about Pac, right? And I ain't even relate to this dude. But the thing about Pac is that he was lyrical, but his lyrics had passion.
Gotcha.
And the thing is that we love Pac because he put his heart on that shit.
Okay.
On everything.
Yeah.
Of course he had lyrics. What else was he attaching that passion to? Wasn't lyrics, and that's why we love him so much. We know when he got on the mic, that was him.
Yeah.
How many rappers do we really feel like is that you?
Well, you know,
there's a lot of them we think that ain't really you, dog.
Well, you know what? Speaking of dogs, you know what I think? So I think when I think of Tupac, I think of the ultimate rapper, right? Yeah. Because he's intelligent hoodlum, or not hoodlum, but he's intelligent from the ghetto like Nas. Right?
Yeah.
And then when he's like doing Me Against the World records, that's kind of reminiscent of 94 and the Illmatic kind of thing.
Yep.
Right? He's a player like Too Short.
Yep.
Right? He could still make you party like Digital Underground.
Yep.
Right? He could give you a party record like Digital Underground.
That's right.
Right? He's political and gangster like Ice Cube.
Yep.
He's gangster and spiritual like Scarface.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And he's a few of them, but he's none of them to their entirety.
Right.
They're just like people that, and he's a teacher like KRS-One.
Yes, that's right.
He's throwing everything in the pot. You know what I'm saying? They all threw their stuff in the pot, and then you got Pac because I mean, he covers all that.
Yeah, no, he is. He covers so much ground. He's so dynamic, and I really think that's why people love him so much.
Yeah,
you know, and I think there's a lot of heads. It's just a lot of academic people in the culture who want to study the culture and be like, do. Well, and that isn't how people experience music.
And that's not the average listener of rap music.
Right, yeah.
Because I'm going to tell you this, man. The symbiotic relationship, that might even been the wrong word, right? Women doing their thing with rap music, right? Yeah. Men don't really like to buy rap music. You know what men like to spend their money on? Getting high.
Right, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Sure, yeah. Women want to buy the rap records so their little kids can dance.
Yeah, that's right.
Look a little beat, you know?
Sure.
You know, they want to see their kids and shit in the back dancing and stuff like that. They're the ones that are spending the money. The women are the ones that are spending the money.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So the average chick, I said, don't want to hear I Gave You Power and shit like that by Nas and sit there and listen to the technical shit. Rap, Nas, right? The difference between Nas and Tupac, to me, Nas is my favorite East Coast rapper, right?
Yeah.
The difference between Nas and Tupac is that Tupac says what Nas says, but simpler that everybody can get it.
Okay, I can see that.
Right?
Yeah.
One of them might say he got hit in his clavicle. That means his part. And then one might just say the collarbone. Right? Tupac is for everybody. Nas is for dope-ass rappers, people that like rap, and hip-hop enthusiasts, and the technical motherfuckers.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to have a certain type of IQ to listen to the motherfucker. If I'm in a car, right, and I'm riding listening to Nas, I don't want anybody in the car talking over the lyrics because I want to listen to Nas, man.
Yeah.
But guess what, though? I could listen to Tupac in a car and not miss anything.
Yeah. That's right.
I'm not, and it's riding music.
Right. Yeah. No, for sure. Hey, man, true story. I was in South America once, in Bolivia, in like a town that's just not even the capital in Bolivia, middle of South America, and a taxi drives by and they bumping Tupac. And I remember thinking, damn, they pumping Pac down here?
That's right.
Of course they bumping Pac down there, right? Like music is worldwide.
That's right.
You feel me? But like these are people, most of the people I ran into could not speak English. You know what I'm saying? And I thought, man, that's the power of music right there.
Of course.
You know, and you see go around the world, you see these other cultures rapping Pac. It's like, that's the ultimate compliment, blood, because it's like the passion translates past language.
Well, the thing about it is, I'm glad you said that, because do you know what the #1 most universal language is in the world? Body language.
Yeah, right.
I don't gotta sit there and know the lyrics to the song if she freaking and twerking and doing all this shit to me. I don't give a fuck what they saying on the record. I just want to find the groove to the motherfucking beat. You know, Steve. You know, Steve. Am I right?
I feel you.
You could be sitting up there, the beat, do. If she's sitting up there doing all this and looking cute and enticing your motherfucking ass to get on the dance floor, what else is a man to do?
Right. Yeah, no, for real, man. That's real. Yeah, I mean, it's universal, man. But I mean, I think that's the thing about Pac that, and I also just think, man, there's just a lot of hate around Pac just because of the whole East Coast, West Coast thing and whatever. And, you know,
do you really think it was an East Coast, West Coast thing?
Yes and no.
Okay.
So look, New Yorkers are very proud people, right?
They were just talking about that yesterday.
New Yorkers are very proud. You know, that's why, you know, we meet folks from New York, we think it's obnoxious. Hey, yo, you know, I'm from Brooklyn, I'm Bronx, whoa. And you just like, man, all right, whatever. You know, whatever. Cool. Sit down, chill, right? But like, man, you know, they started that shit. That's cool. I think the enemies of our culture played on that shit.
Of course.
I think people in this game ain't all who they say they are, you know. And
who are the enemies of the culture?
Yeah. Great question. White supremacy, capitalism, you know, all the stuff that wants to keep black people in a destructive state.
So do you believe that rap music is weaponized against black people?
hell yeah, it's weaponized against black people.
Now,
but but now I'm gonna sound like old head, right? Because I've had this experience where I remember being in high school going to a. Rasan knows about this. There was a club back in the day in Walnut Creek, and you go, and it was like high school club, and people were dancing. I remember dancing.
Shout out to Gene. Was Gene and them throwing it?
No, I don't know, man.
You remember Gene?
No, I don't remember Gene.
From Black Saturday. He passed away.
Oh, damn.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay, yeah, nah, man, not familiar, but check this out. I remember dancing to Public Enemy, Can't Trust It.
Okay.
You feel me? Like it was like people was dancing. They had videos in MTV. So at the height, Public Enemy sells 1 million records. They get dropped from Death Row. I mean, not Death Row, Def Jam. Excuse me. You feel me? And it's like, wait, hold on. Well, you understand Def Jam selling their stuff to Sony, right? And they starting to consolidate record labels, right? And as that happened, all the conscious party rap just got thrown to the side. And when we got Snoop records in Walmart, that was a big thing for the game. And so I think there's people, and that ain't a knock on Snoop. That first Doggy Style record was a shit.
Oh, absolutely.
That shit slapped to the
I mean, that's the first child of NWA's divorce, damn near.
Yeah, for sure, right? So it's not knocking that, but it's like, man, you had successful groups that suddenly now didn't have any funding, and I don't think that's by accident, but that's
so turning back the hands of time, right? Yeah. Right? Say we know that they dropping all the conscious rappers from from labels and stuff like that. At that point, what were the conscious community supposed to do to maintain the push in conscious music?
Man, that's a great question. I think, start their own labels, come together, I think also adapt, like maybe not water it down, but take a different approach. You know what I'm saying? Like,
say not water it down, but take a different. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but when I put on a Public Enemy record, I want to hear Public Enemy. I don't want to hear like, now they popping champagne.
Well, my thing is this: is that you said not water it down, but Public Enemy wasn't watered down, and they still got dropped.
Yeah, for sure. But here's the thing: I say keep on putting out music. Public Enemy kept on putting out music independently. You know what I mean? I know that for a fact. So it isn't like, J. Rue the Damager made a living out in Berlin. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of these artists went to Europe and to Asia and did well. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? All those 90s rappers, like I was in France, man, and this one restaurant every day would play nothing but UMCs, like a very niche New York group. Blue Cheese, and I don't know. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? And so like they just love the culture. So I think a lot of those people, they pivoted and went over there. But a lot of people didn't. They didn't make, they wasn't making no money.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think the problem is that you're right. What are they supposed to do? You had $1 million backing. Now you ain't got no $1 million backing. So you got to put out your own music. That's going to be an entirely different experience. So I think that's the only thing they could do. But it's really to underscore that these labels and these media outlets are very powerful.
That's right.
So they are picking winners. And the thing is that there's artist blood, and I ain't talking shit about any artist, but there's an artist that I'm like, if this was a truly, let the market decide, let the listeners decide, I'm like, I don't know if they're going to choose that artist. They choose that artist because that artist is getting played. It's constant on repeat. All right, fine, fuck it. I know the little jingle. Now I'm singing it, right? People are manipulated. That's why they spend so much money on Super Bowl ads.
So this is what I want to know, because I'm about to segue real quick, because I think we got 10 minutes left. So this is what I want to know. Do you think that hip hop, rap music, has a symbiotic relationship to crack cocaine?
Man, I don't know. I mean, in other words, like crack cocaine altered what hip hop did.
I'm saying they feed off each other.
So I don't know. So here's the thing. In the 80s, they had this thing about the crack baby and how the crack baby was supposed to be the worst baby, the worst kind of baby to get hooked. And then later on, it came to find out that some of that wasn't entirely true. Okay. Not saying that drug-addicted babies don't have problems. They do. It's just that, do they have them more when the mama's hooked on crack or heroin? Well, science will will debate that. You know what I mean? So a lot of that was a lot of mythology around demonized black people and drug use and drug addiction. And those had real consequences. But I'm very sensitive about implying one or the other because, you know, I don't want us to perpetuate any of that shit. I'm not saying you doing that, but I'm just a little bit. But I do think it has affected. I mean, how many cats rap about
that? So now we're getting somewhere.
Cooking crack, so now, selling that shit.
Because back in the early 80s, right? Mm-hmm. Back in 85, 86, 87, right?
Right.
Who had the money on the streets? The dope dealer, the crack dealers, or the rappers?
Oh, that's a good one. Dope dealers.
Thank you.
Dope dealers.
So the rappers wanted to be like the crack dealers.
Right. Yeah.
Now,
right.
The crack dealers want to be like the rappers.
True. But I think back then a lot of those crack dealers too was help financing hip hop, as we all know.
So would that also reinforce the fact that they had a symbiotic relationship because they needed each other to feed off each other?
Yeah, I think that you can make a case for that. I was thinking more symbiotic, like, oh, these wild ass rappers is wild because they was crack babies, you know, that connection. And I was like, well,
that's now.
Yeah. Well, now it's like, you know, you've heard this. Now, you know, now it's like we used to have rappers who were the drug dealers, and now the rappers are the drug addicts. You know,
I believe
you know
so. That's part of it too.
And it's like, you know, it's a weird switch. And, you know, we used to rap about the dope man. Now we the dope fiend, you know. But at the same time, I'm not hating on somebody talking about their addiction.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not, you dig? Like, it's one thing to be like, yo, I spent 12 months in recovery and I'm really trying to work through that. And I wrote a song about that. I'm with you. But if you just like, all I do is Molly and Perp and blow, boop, 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 boop. I'm just like, man, shut up.
Yeah, well, you know, I mean, it had to come from somewhere, you know. But before we get out of here, man, thanks for coming on time. Tell people where they can find you at.
Yo, you can find me on all the streaming platforms. I'm Spotify. I'm Soul from the O, but you can find me on Spotify. You can especially find me on Bandcamp. Y'all mess with me. $1 will get you stickers and all sorts of stuff on Bandcamp. So see me there or on 11525.com. Soul 11525 on all the social media platforms, bro.
And put your phone number. No,
1-888. No.
Well, I'm L-Deez for another episode of I Need to Know, and as usual, come on, you know what I want.